What's up, everybody? Aaron with Aaron Unwinds back from a hiatus. Counted me out, but you cannot, or something. I don't know. I was sick last week, so we're still on the letter L. Don't adjust your television sets when we go 27 weeks on this journey we're on. But the letter L is, as you can see, for The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue, 1974. George Grau directed. Also known as Let the Corpses Sleep, I believe, and like 18 other names. So you might have seen this movie just under a different name. Either way, Spanish director. And this is, I'll just kind of cut to the chase here. This is the best of the Dead movie and one of the better of the Dead movies, including the Romero of the Dead movies. There definitely are major differences, but there are also major homages that aren't necessarily, I think, trying to copy or hide themselves with George Grau, the director here, Spanish director, who at the time Spanish dictatorship was going on that really resisted particularly art and many other things, which I'm not going to get into on Aaron Unwinds because, that's why we're all here. But one of the ways that George Grau got this movie to be made was a lot of it is a commentary on how Spanish people were being treated at the time. The just overall, there's a big commentary on radiation and technology and doing things at the cost of everything else that comes with it. So George Grau decided to make this about English people while basically being about his own community in Spain at the time. And the dictator obviously had no idea. And so that little backstory to the movie, which just there's so much backstory with so many movies made around this time period, along with the overall themes they're trying to express. This is a really good zombie movie as well. I don't want to get into twists with this movie, but there's definitely some twists later on in the movie that particularly the ending twist that I feel like is like quite brutal, and I don't want to really get into here, but I think it's one of the stronger aspects of the movie. Overall, like it is a radiation makes zombies movie. So if you're familiar with Umberto Lenzi's work, he's definitely done that with Nightmare City, a few other ones like that. This is along that same vein. I do think it's done a little more grounded in this way. Some of the dead that we get to see, this guy behind me here, and then George to my stage right, Guthrie on my left here. The dead get some really great individual dead people, so to speak. They don't die by bullets, so that definitely makes it a lot more exciting. There's a scene early on with a shot to the head where like it just doesn't phase them at all. Fire works very well. And other things. This is a really good, cool 70s classic like example of like pick something from the 70s that has any rapport at all, or even doesn't necessarily have to. But this movie definitely has good rapport. I got to watch it as well with Joe Bob on The Last Drive-In. That's one of the movies he featured a couple years ago. So that's always a better way to watch the movie while unwinding if you have an extra hour or so to watch the movie, because it will be about 2.5 hours that way. But either way, if you've watched a lot of zombie movies or not many, I think this should be considered one of the more foundational dead movies to come out. Like, and until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't really know about it. I don't know if it's because it has like 18 different titles. I don't know if it could, I mean, either way though, it's just like top to bottom, well acted, well shot. The effects in this movie are great. There's a guy who's slowly eating at one point in this movie, and like you just get all of the great organ goodness that you can get. So, like, yeah, if you're a 70s horror fan, if you're a fan of dead movies, you've probably already seen this one, but if not, it should go to the top of your list. I think it's really of quality and one of the best in this subgenre. So like this came out before Fulci by like 4 or 5 years. Also, this is 1974. I don't think this gets enough credit for how influential it was. I mean, it's just crazy. 5 years later, this movie would fit right in. It's just like it's a pretty amazing work within the 70s horror that I would shamefully miss till now. But now we've caught up. So, yeah, let's go ahead. I recommend it, as you can tell. Let's get to the ratings. So I don't know. I was thinking at the time I rated this a 4 on my Letterboxd, but it's going to be a 4.5 leaves for me here. This movie definitely is it grows on you. I think because maybe sometimes I have a bad habit sometimes with my ratings when it executes the fundamentals so well. I almost like take away credit from its execution and like I'm like, yeah, but you didn't do anything different. There's certain aspects of this movie that need to be done the way they're done. And yeah, it doesn't get as wacky as some of my Italian horror. So, you know, that's okay. It's definitely much more grounded, but it really works and it keeps that energy. All right. And so that is going to do it for my review on Living Dead, which, by the way, we're doing the alphabet challenge. I completely just rolled on into this. Aaron Unwind's alphabet challenge, in case you didn't know at this point, which I'm sure you do. We're on to the letter L. Which leads me into next week, which is the letter M. And I have a request from, runner of the channel, JWMaher. He suggested I get into some Bollywood action because, to be honest, I am a novice at best in Bollywood. So we're going with, from the Letterboxd Top 250, Mani Cheat Roth Azu, directed by Fazil. So if you're familiar with that, congratulations. If you're not, I just gave you a week of homework, and we'll get familiar together on why we love horror with Aaron Unwinds in the Alphabet Challenge with M and Manit Cheat Roth Azu. And I'll learn how to say that as one word instead of 7 next week. Here's what's coming up on the channel. Thanks for the support.